Hey, how's it going? It is Monday morning, early Monday morning, like, I'm just gonna, it is 12:18 a.m. Monday morning, July 9th, 2018. And I'm going on a trip July 10th. And it's a road trip, so I need to have, well, I need to have a lot of things with me, but one of the things I like to have with me while I'm driving are mints. And one type of mint that I make, I wish I could show it to you, but I ate them all, are ginger mints. And I found a recipe online, and now I'm just winging it because I've made them 2 other times, so I think I remember how to make them. That's very dangerous. I think I know. Anyway, I put them in when they're all dried and ready to go. I repurposed these old Altoids used to make ginger mints, and they were awesome. I loved them. But they don't make them anymore. So now these probably have, it says not for the faint of tongue. And so I keep the little sheets, you know, and everything. And then another type of mint I bought in the past are these Penguin caffeinated chocolate mints. Oh, I do have some of those left over, but they're kind of oval shaped, and they have xylitol in them, and this is just a container. So I have a bunch of tins like that. I think I got like a 6-pack of these things. I only have 1 tin left. Oh yeah, there's a little cover or whatever for the thing. So that's when everything is all dried, ready to go. Now, because I should have made these last week. Alright, this is also my drying box for the mints. But because like I said, because I should have made these last week when they would have had enough time to dry on their own, like air dry, I'm waiting till the last minute, obviously. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm going to put them on a cookie sheet and kind of dry them at an extremely low temperature in the oven. I think 170 I think is ideal, but I'm not sure my oven goes all the way down to 170, so I'm going to put it in there at 200. I think it's 200 it goes down to. And then just kind of keep an eye on it. I might even Google for information, but what I wanted to show you was how I make the mints. This is thing number, I guess, would it be a thing? A 100 things challenge thing? If it is, it's 41 or 42, I'm not sure. So, okay, the whole base of making these is Professional's Choice Satin Ice gum paste. So you need some of this. You need some of this. And I bought this a while ago. And it comes into this container all wrapped up for me. And it smells, now gum paste is used in baking, like cakes. And let me take a look at the label something. And it's sugary, so it's not going to be a healthy mint. So the Penguin mints have had xylitol in them, along with chocolate and caffeine. And I think it was like 4, I'm not sure, 4 mints maybe. It tells you what the caffeine content is. 3 penguins. They weren't really penguins. They were oval shaped. There were no feet, no beak, nothing like that. 3 penguins are the caffeine equivalent of 1 cola beverage. There's not a whole lot of caffeine in a cola. Coca-Cola or Pepsi, anything like that. And Sugar-free, fat-free. These are not going to be sugar-free. And they likely won't be fat-free either. So, anyway, let me see if I have nutrition. There are 26 servings. If I use it, serving size is 2 tablespoons. Oh, so we're going to get way more servings for me. 130 calories per 2 tablespoons. No cholesterol. Yay. No trans fat. 32 grams of total carbohydrates. That's bad. It's like, but not for me. So, well, bad for everybody, but you know what I mean. So it is used in like cake decorating, like creating bows, ruffles, figurines, it says here. And it says gum paste decorations can be prepared weeks in advance and stored in an airtight container. Gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free. Yay! So, what you do with this, or what I do with this, oh, you know, I should have, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking, so I got this cake decorating kit, and I also bought that a long time ago, possibly 2017. And I want to just put that there. I brought this little container out in case I need to store a chunk of gum paste in there, but this is half a tablespoon. That really matter, really. But what I want to do is I need to get a spoon. A spoon, like a metal spoon, because this is, it's a little hard. Okay. So what I do is I take a big old chunk of this stuff and I put it down on my counter here, so to speak. And you have to knead it to kind of loosen it up a little. So I just kind of roll it around a little bit like this in my hands, and not very good for arthritis, I see. And it's always best, I did wash my hands right before I started this video, so we're ready to go. You know, I just do that. And then what I do here is I kind of make an impression with my thumb. So here I have, this is ginger paste, and I have ginger powder, and I just mixed a little bit of it with water, and I cannot even tell you what the measurements are. I just poured maybe a tablespoon of ginger in here, and then added water a little bit at a time, stirred with a fork, and then add a little bit more with, what is that? Oh, it's a bubble. It's an air bubble. And so I'm going to make ginger mints, and I'm also going to make, this is a first for me, by the way, I don't even think this is open. I'm going to make coffee flavored mints, and this is espresso powder. I'll show you what it looks like on the bottom there. Espresso powder. And I recently got, to add to my coffee, my cold brew coffee and stuff when I drink that, I got this organic vanilla powder. So I want to add a little bit of that to the coffee one. And I can't get this open. Man, I bought this maybe March, maybe? I started running out of mints in March, so that's how lazy I've been about making mints. It doesn't really take a long time. It might take a long time here because I'm recording, and maybe I'm going to tell you how I'm doing this type of deal. But this this coffee powder, espresso powder, from what I read, I got it, oh, really? I got it on Amazon. It smells good. It smells like coffee. So that's what it looks like. Looks like very fine coffee. I should taste it. I'm gonna taste a little. Tastes like coffee. It definitely doesn't have the same effect as this one. This one, after I stirred it with the fork, I just kind of, I didn't lick the whole fork, but I just dipped my tongue on like a tiny, not even a full drop, like a infinitesimal drop of ginger, because I knew it would be hot. And I was like, oh, that's not too bad. And about maybe a minute later, 30 seconds later or something, I could feel that. Okay, with this one. So this is here. This one for the coffee. I should get moving on this gum paste. We do not want it to dry. Espresso powder. That's made in Brazil. This does. To substitute for coffee in recipes, dissolve 1 teaspoon in 1 cup of hot water. For extra strong, use up to 1 tablespoon per 1 cup of hot water. So, for mixing with dry ingredients, way to put the label over my directions here. Now I can't even read it. Really? I can't believe you did that. We're going to have to mix it, maybe like hot water, a little pasty stuff there. When mixing with dry ingredients in cake or cookie recipes, use 1 to 2 teaspoons per, I think that's cup of flour. That's what it says. Man, right over the recipes, or right over the directions. So, okay, so for this one, I wanted to take this. This is a 1/4 teaspoon. I think I had it in cinnamon. Oh, I should add cinnamon to the coffee. 1/4 teaspoon. I'm just going to put a little bit of this. Now in the past, I've never used the powder mixed up as a paste, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this and put it in here. Maybe a little bit more. I have to remember because this will be hot, hot, hot after I mix it all in. In the past, I've used, and then I'm just going to go like this and get my fingers dirty and everything. So in the past, I've used ginger extract. And I have ginger extract, but I've had that for a very, very long time. And I'm not sure that's even good anymore. So this is going to take on the color of ginger a little bit. And it's sticky. And I have a little bit of water that I use here for my crafts. So I'm going to just spray my hands a little bit here and make it even stickier. So it'll be like that. And I can even taste this because I want to, it smells, I don't know what it smells like. I can't really taste the ginger in here. Like, maybe I should wait a few seconds. Anyway, the reason I make ginger mints is because ginger is very good for throat clearing. It's very good for coughs. And it's very good for nausea. So if you get, like, if you're feeling a little bit sick or something, or, you know, just not feeling right or something, you can eat ginger. It'll take that nauseous feeling away. It's also good for if you have a full stomach. It gets rid of your full stomach. You eat like I usually eat like a ginger candy. It's like a taffy type of piece by Reed's Ginger Candy. I think I've shown that in other videos. Okay, so what I want to do here is I want to get my, I don't have that. That's a shame. I want to get the ginger powder. Maybe I'll use You can also, if you make mints, you can also get powdered sugar and sprinkle that on top, and that'll give it even sweeter flavor, but we already know. I'm gonna actually, this is what the vanilla powder looks like. So I'm gonna throw a little bit of that in here. And we're gonna have vanilla ginger. And this is only vanilla. There's no sugar in this powder, so it's just vanilla. Made with vanilla beans and pods and whatnot, so I knew I would be encountering the sticky part there. Oh yeah, things are flying. Let me put this like that. But that'll, adding the ginger powder will kind of reduce the amount of stickiness. And I'm thinking, don't put water on it. Now this, I've never used this before, and I think, there's a cat here now. And I think it might be a silicone. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. No. Not silicone as in won't stick. So I just want to roll this out. And, you know, usually I work on a cutting board. I don't know why I didn't bring that cutting board over. Give myself a little more room. Put that there. Okay, and I don't know if you can see how much you can see. Don't spill things. I've been spilling things this week. Yeah. That's never good. I also usually maybe roll out a little more than this. And not too flat. Oh my goodness, I got stuff everywhere. Okay, so I'm just gonna roll this much out like this. And also, I've used a different gum paste in the past. And I will show you these items. We have like that. All kinds of things to play with. Ooh. What is that? I can make designs like that. Moving right along. Okay, so gonna do stars. That's gonna come out. Boy, that's tiny. Some flowers. Oh yeah, that's a good size. If I can get it. Oh, it's a good. That's a good flower size for a mint. Problem is, it's sticking in there. And I'm sure one of these will help me take these out. It's got little, oh, it's got like a little inside part there, you know, like the center of the flower. I need the heart here. So that is definitely what I want. Is these are good little tools because I can use them to. This is a tiny heart. Sometimes if I put too much ginger in, I would like that size of a mint. Maybe the itty bitty ones are way too tiny. So where we have a big star. Maybe do a bunch of those. And then, I know there's a moderate to small flower. Oh, it's got a little thing. That's so cool. I didn't even notice that one. Throw some hearts in here. Have any bigger? Some of the big flowers here. They're not really big. I do have the cookie or the cutters for the big flowers. Okay. So also, the thinner the gum paste is, the thinner you roll it out, then the faster it will dry. So if you're going for speed, what am I looking for here? Little ones there. I can get pretty many out there. Like, so these, if I dry them in the oven, when I dry them in the oven, I want to do... just take these out as regular, like, long mints, odd-shaped mints. They don't have to be... For a while there, I was making... trying to get them to look like the ginger Altoids, which are round. Any kind of Altoid mint usually is round. Oh yeah, that does a great job of... Oh look, that's cool. Wrap out some more. Roll out some more. Oh, that is awesome. So you can make imprints. Oh yeah, definitely have to try that. It'll just be a little bit flatter. Maybe I'll have to look up cake decorating videos on YouTube. Okay, so I will definitely... I was hoping for... maybe this one. Ooh. That's a shooting star because one of its legs is longer. I can also do, I'm going to show you here in a minute. Like, just a minute. I can also do this where when I cookie cut there, then I have a little star-shaped hole. So I could do that too. Now this is, I think that's, oh wait, there it is. No, maybe not. Something to kind of push out the star there without killing it. I'm killing it. Or maybe it didn't go all the way through. Tammy. That can't be it. Is that it? I can't tell that, but that's it. That wasn't it. Oh, I think it's this one. No, it's not that one. I'm losing my stuff. Oh, wait. No. Heart. Things I don't think I'm going to use. those in here. I'm looking for, that's a flower. Star, heart, flower, heart, flower. I could have sworn like, that doesn't look like the, I thought the star is pointier here, you know. Whereas this is tiny and it's a little flower. The flower, that's too tiny, I'm thinking. That's weird. It's gotta be this one. And then see, I really don't care what the mints look like. I can just put a couple of small ones in my mouth, let them dissolve, or chomp on them, and, you know. Okay. I do need like a scraper of sorts here. There's not a whole lot of ginger on this, I can see. So what I might do here is kind of brush them a little bit with the ginger. Okay. That'll work. This is not a sharp bladed spatula, so it's not cutting through the wax paper, which is good. I should use the nonstick foil that I have. The problem I'm seeing that I'm having is that it's sticking. Not it's not the ginger that's on top, but it's sticking. Oh, that's cool. So this is, it has ginger sauce on it. If you're wondering, why is that dirty? It's not dirty. Well, technically it's dirty because now it has ginger on it, but that makes for a very cool design. So, I am going on a road trip tomorrow, and you might be thinking, shouldn't you be packing, or... And to that, I say, I have only my overnight bag to pack, and all those clothes, I already know what I'm taking. I've got a bevy of munchies to take with me. A lot of stuff that I got on Amazon because I was craving cookies. I know, bad for me. But, you know, this isn't too great either. So, I don't know. Okay, I need to get... Here's a big flower. That would be it. maybe for the coffee mints, I should make them big. Okay. So, I'm going to turn this off, going to turn off the camera and pick all this out because this is going to take way too long for me to pick it out, and it's not too, you can only moderately see it here through the lens, what I see through the screen panel. So I'm going to put them on, I think I'm going to put them on the cookie sheet and preheat the oven so that I can bake these. But this is how you do this one. So I also want to do the coffee one. So let me get this one squared away, and then I'll turn the camera back on, and we'll go through and make the coffee one and show you how to do that. And that really is just total learn as I go, but it won't be labeled as such on when I get it up to YouTube. This is what it looks like after I glazed it with the ginger sauce and all of the little things that I now have to pick out of there. So that's why I'm going to turn off the camera. I'll be back. I'm back! Okay, so what I did was, I didn't punch out all the stars and everything. What I did was I just took that whole thing, scooped it up, or took the wax paper with me. Trying to figure out what the cats are doing. Playing. And I put it on a non-stick foil. I always use this non-stick foil. And I put it in the oven at 170. So my oven does go down to 170. That's good. And I baked it for 5 minutes at 170. And then I took it out, you know, and I looked at it a little bit. I let it cool. And it was wet. So gum paste is marshmallow. It's like marshmallow. So when you put it in the oven, it's going to melt a little bit. And I went online, and that's where I read this information that it's, you know, it melted, it burned. I had it, like, my daughter baked cookies at 350, and when she didn't turn off the oven, I just, threw the gum paste in. That's way too high even I know that. So, I found out that I can put it in for, like, on a rack. So I have a cookie drying rack, and it's propped up, so there's a lot of air that can flow through. So you want the air to flow through in and around this gum paste. And I'm actually glad that I made it thin. I was thinking maybe I made it too thin, but I'm glad I made it thin. And so I did that for 10 minutes at 170, and then with all the little pieces that I had already chopped up and everything, what I did there was I took the foil that I had it on, and I kind of folded it underneath, and then just kind of made little mountains and valleys and stuff like that to kind of raise those little pieces up, because I can't put those little pieces on the drying rack. I have to figure out another way. So I put that in for 10 minutes at 170 degrees Fahrenheit, and then I took it out, and now I'm letting it air dry, and it has about 20 more minutes to air dry, and the time is 2:04. So I think what I'm going to do here is set my clock, set my timer. Okay, so now then in the meantime, while that was baking, I mixed up a little bit. I took water and I heated it up. I boiled the water, and then I put in 2 of these teaspoons, plastic teaspoons in here, and then I also added 2 of these scoops, which are roughly 1/4 of a teaspoon, as I measured it. I think they're a little over 1/4 of a teaspoon. These come from, they had straws, and I just went like that, and I put 2 of those in. I put 1 in at first, and then, because this vanilla is not sweet. is delicious, but it's not sweet. So it's not going to get sticky, and I don't think it's going to get sticky. It's like, it just says that the only thing that's in here is organic vanilla pods and leaves. No sugar, nothing like that. They're 20 calories, really? For a teaspoon. So I put probably a little more than a teaspoon because I scooped it up, you know. So then I thought, well, I can use the coffee espresso powder, and I can also use the vanilla powder as like a floured surface type of thing. So that is what I'm going to do right now. I'm not going to do a little bit. Put that on there, and I'll be awake for days. I hope not. And so I'm supposed to be asleep because I have to get up early. I have been getting up early, I would say every day for the past 4 or 5 days, and getting up earlier and earlier, not early by a morning person, a morning lark's hours, you know. My friend is a morning person, and she goes to bed like 8 o'clock in the evening and gets up at 5:30 every day, or nearly every day. So I'm going to try that. Okay. And then I'm going to pour a little bit of that coffee. I got way too much coffee in there. And I need the spoon. I also brought out, and I forgot to tell you about this, this is Wilton's Peppermint Extract. So I was going to try also to maybe add a drop or so to the gum paste. And then I can have vanilla coffee with a smidge of peppermint in it. I do put a little bit of peppermint in my coffee every day. A little tiny piece of peppermint stick. I can't get, that's usually like a Christmas tradition, I guess. Did I? No. Where's the other one? I have coffee in my gum paste now, which isn't all bad, really. That's exactly what I did. No, oh, never mind. Yep, I put the gum paste spoon in the coffee to get the coffee out. And I even brought out an extra spoon for the coffee. Silly me. Okay. Knead it. And I took the little rubber bands off of the rolling pin. That's what it's called. A rolling pin. Alright, I'm going to do that a little. I might not need to add any juice to this, coffee juice. I'm thinking I just probably should have put the so this should be a brown gum paste now when I get it all mixed in there. I'm just going to do, not even going to spoon it, just going to kind of drop it. About that much, I guess. Little hills and valleys. And it is definitely strong because I maybe have a third of a cup of water in there, maybe. So I probably should have done it maybe gradually, like a teaspoon at a teaspoon of coffee with a teaspoon of water or something. I think I'm gonna need a little more coffee as my flour source. I was gonna go into It's a tough. Lid to screw on. It doesn't quite screw on the way I'd like it to. It's tough to screw off. Okay, now I'm also gonna take this. So what I might do with this is maybe I can just, instead of stamping it out, I can just bake it like this and make it thin, and then I can, when it's dry, I can just break off the pieces, you know. That's kind of a weird design there going on. Of course, this might also be a total fail. Who knows? What can he make? High octane coffee mints. When my mom used to cook, she had a rolling pin. I actually had that rolling pin, and it's an old wooden rolling pin, and she took the handles off because they kept getting in her way. You don't need handles for a rolling pin, really. Get messy. Oh, that's cool. Maybe I can cut them like in long strips or something. That would fit on the rack. And I can cut these in half. We are talking high octane coffee smell right now. Yeah. It's still sticking. So much for non-stick foil. I need a brush. Is there a brush in here? Maybe I can make, maybe there are those little things in there. What was that one? This one. Shell imprinted. Oh, you can barely see them. Not too much of a design there. Oh, I have. This has different design wheels that I can use. I could do there'll be some major cleaning today. Wasn't this like an Italian pastry knife or something? I don't know, I've never done this before. Like this. Can't really see them. But I can maybe show it to you. It looks like a really bad tortilla. It's like, that's what it looks like. Yep, that's what it looks like, alright. I did open up this one, and I put the big one I had on here earlier. Put it on here. So, maybe I'll just have to try and peel it off. It might be, maybe I made it too thin. I cut it a little bit here. And also I put them on here, this lid, for easy transport. So this is what we have all cut up. Now they look like cinnamon sugar. Definitely not cinnamon sugar. And I forgot to put the peppermint in. But I think maybe the next one I can do peppermint. Then that really would be mints. I would think too much. I'm muddy. Where's my, I have a wet paper towel here. Coffee hands. Hey, this might be a good way to, now it is kind of expensive for that little jar. I can't remember how much I paid, but, I guess I could make coffee stained papers. Okay, so turn that off. So let me go take the things over and put them in the oven. Now the big one that I had, that one was still kind of damp on one side, so I put that back in the oven with the coffee ones. And I set the timer, because I have so many strips on there, I set the timer for 12 minutes. So the timer's going to go off in 12 minutes. But this is, it's not hard yet, but I'm thinking as long as I keep it out, I'll put it in the box. But that's one of the smaller. That's the second biggest, I should say. I wonder if I can get the stars out. I can. They'll dry faster that way. Okay, so then we have this one is had the shell imprint on it. I don't know how well you can see that. It's kind of hard to see. Okay, then little tiny stars. So this is how I had it in these little ones. I just scrunch up the foil, you know, and make your own little hills and valleys, and just separate them as much as you can so they're not all next to each other. Because they'll, oh, look at that one, see? That was the little star donut. It's fattening as a donut too. Okay, so that is roughly how to make mints with gum paste. Very roughly, I'm gonna say. I'm gonna sign off, and I've been talking for about 30 minutes. What was it before? It was probably equally long. I didn't keep track. That's what kind of day would you like to have? Have a nifty day. Oh, I thought it was going to be perspicacious. Have one of those too. Bye.